So I'm standing here with Josh, the lead producer, the lead developer of the Repopulation, a very exciting game for a lot of people out there, a huge success on Kickstarter. Welcome, my friend, and thanks for having us. So,
hey, thanks.
Give us a little idea of what's going on with the Repopulation and what we can look forward to.
Okay, so the Repopulation is a sandbox MMORPG. Our kind of main influence is Star Wars Galaxies, but we have other kind of influences in there like Vanguard, Ultima Online, a variety of other games like Shadowbane. We'll get into the PvP elements as well. So we got a lot of influences from a lot of different kind of games. As we mentioned, it's a sandbox-oriented game. We're all about giving players options, how they can play in game. We have no levels, no classes, so players are really defined by the skills that they have in the game.
Nice.
So if they want to be combat-oriented, they can focus on the combat. If they wanted to, be more of the crafter-oriented style of player, as you guys kind of know, we have a lot of crafting options in the game.
Yes.
Everything in the game is pretty much from resources in the game, whether you loot it from a creature through a kind of harvesting and gathering system that we have. You get it from resources. We have things like harvester clusters, which allow players to drop down harvesters like in Star Wars Galaxies, kind of similar fashion, and collect groups of resources, but those also create flashpoints for PvP battles in the contested areas, which we'll cover a little bit later as well.
Perfect, perfect. So how does it feel to be, we've gotten we talked to a lot of people about the Repopulation. How does it feel to be compared to such awesome games like Star Wars Galaxies and Vanguards, games that people still talk about to this day and miss? Yeah,
we feel there's always been kind of a hole, with Star Wars Galaxies, especially when it shut down. There's people that were enjoying the game. You even post the CU combat upgrades and stuff like that, and GE. So,
yes.
And we're kind of in the vein a little bit before those changes happened. So we got a lot of fans that are interested in those kind of, the pre-NGE phase of Star Wars Galaxies. So we're also seeing kind of a movement towards sandbox gaming as well, especially in the MMO realm. So that seems to be changing over. We're going away from the pure theme park to kind of more of a hybrid mix, and even more pure sandbox. So we've kind of been on front of that, on top of that.
That is awesome. So a lot of people have kind of a skepticism about the unlimited level cap. What would you could you comment on that a little bit and just kind of shed a little light on that? And people are worried that, well, what if a guy's a level 1 million and I'm a level 2? So.
Sure, yeah, we do. We don't have a level cap or a skill cap in particular. Since we don't have levels, we do skills. A lot of the skills, let's say you're doing combat, there's a switch out time. So if you're using like a rifle-oriented weapon, and you want to switch over a handgun or a melee weapon, there's a switch out time. There's switch out time for armor as well. So it's more of a kind of like a defined role that you can play for a little while. And veteran players will have more options because they'll have more role options based on the skills that they have. But it's still going to take time to progress further into these skills. So it's going to be a time investment. I think that's also one of the things we're seeing, that there is more switching of classes in class-based games where you can switch classes, or even if it's just a single class, you have people that play alts and for the different roles.
Right.
So in the same way, you kind of get the same options, but kind of really build and tailor into one character. Like on the crafting side, we go probably even a step further. What there is mastery with certain recipes, well, pretty much all the recipes in the game. So you can specialize in a certain area if you want to. We have a massive kind of interconnected tree or web or mess, depending on who you ask, about all the stuff that goes into crafting. So you can specialize in certain component areas. You can specialize in finished components like fittings, which are kind of modular attachments we put on weapons and armor.
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot of options there.
So tell everybody out there how they can get involved with this. Give us how can people get involved? I know that there's an option that you can play it now if you jump in on the Kickstarter. So give us kind of an idea of how we can get involved with this and how people can help support it, being that it is such a popular idea behind Star Wars Galaxies.
Sure. We did Kickstarter at the beginning of the year. That was pretty successful. We're doing crowdfunding on our own website right now. So we have different pledge levels that get backings at a certain time. Our goal is really to get most of the backers have pledged already into by the end of the year. Right. And also new backers, you'll be able to pledge right now to get in access either now or probably again later in the year. So it depends on how early you want to get in. We have access right now where people are paying just to get in instantly. So if you want to come and test it, if you feel like waiting a little bit till later, that's fine.
Oh, perfect.
So it's been working really well for us.
Everybody out there, get involved. This is a great game, and they have a really solid plan for it. So get involved. It was so a pleasure to interview you. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks.